Hey everyone, it's Mega400 here with more Let's Play Yoshi Story. It's time for the Neuron Jungle. I'm going to choose the white Yoshi for no reason. This is a pretty simple and easy level. Again, compared to Jungle Puddle, this is actually quite enjoyable. I actually like this level. The wind, as you saw here, the wind will signify that if you fall, you will go into a bottomless pit. Because sometimes you'll have to make like blind jumps in this level. You don't have to, but you can. Neurons, soft and squishy. These are neurons. So yeah, this is Neuron Jungle, or otherwise known as K-Man Rules 1 through 3-1's Family Reunion. These guys are actually quite odd looking, but they're nice. They're not going to hurt you. They won't. They're just squishy, soft guys that will help you lift you up to places. Also, you can pound them and go down. Just soft, squishy, gooey things. So yeah, those guys are awesome. I love their design. And everything in this game, it's really nice design overall. The color, the music. This game it's just enjoyable. And just real quick, I mentioned that this game can be difficult, and it is difficult. I'm not saying like the game is insanely difficult. I'm just saying like it's not like if I die like with the Yoshis that I'll never be able to beat the game. I could easily beat the game because killing a Yoshi isn't going to affect your score or anything, and if I was doing all melon run, I could still do it with killing Yoshis. The reason I've had trouble with some of these levels is because I've been trying not to kill my Yoshi, which does make it quite difficult if you're not trying to kill any Yoshis, and you're trying to get all the melons, and you're trying to get all the hearts, and you're trying to get all the warps, and you're trying to fit this in the YouTube time limit, which should be a lot longer. I've had trouble. That was the only thing, though. Like, I wouldn't want, like, 40 minutes for a time limit or something, but just a little bit longer so that there's a little bit of time, because having to speed up or cut up videos because you want to fit it in a video time limit, that's just, it's stressful. Now here, if you're good at flare jumping, you can get above that pole and use that to get to the melons in time. You can also attempt to get here through swimming, but it's very difficult. However, I couldn't do the flare jump. The other thing I've never mentioned, and I don't think I mentioned it, I should have, and you'll see this, I'll probably mention it again on Thursday, but my controller, I have three different controllers. Two are the same and one is different. The two that are the same are the N64 original controllers, the gray ones, Nintendo patent, and they're nice. The only problem I have with, and it might just, it's this game, but it's other ones, but it's this game especially, and it might just be the controls, that's how it is. It seems to be this game only, is that it almost seems sticky. It's like you have to tap it twice to move, and sometimes it's always not consistent. And when I'm flutter jumping, sometimes I have a hard time getting used to having to double tap to flutter jump. It's not enjoyable. The controls aren't that good. So I would complain about the controls. However, I have the other controller, which is a third-party controller that has a turbo feature as well, but I don't use that really. But what it does, it basically puts it almost constantly on, like I'm moving. This is what I'm using right now. I'm moving fast constantly because of that controller, but because of that, I can't move slowly. So like ducking, and if you've seen before, like sometimes it sticks with terms of like in the underwater levels trying to go down. But for the most part, you can't go slow. So that's one of the main issues I have with this controller, which I will mention again, and I had trouble with it on the last level of this game. But overall, I like the controller, and my thing is that if Nintendo made it, like if the controller is the reason that it's moving smooth, and Nintendo made it so you had the controls felt a little bit sticky, that'd be a complaint of mine, because I don't like the fact that the controls feel like it's stuck. It should feel natural and not like you have to double stick like that. It just doesn't feel right. I don't know, the controller I have is third party, but it is a pretty nice controller, and it has like, the control stick is like a ball and joint like the GameCube type controllers instead of like the N64's little hinge. Plus, actually, it might also be the fact that my controller's just old, because like these are also the controllers I've used for Mario Party. The rotating control sticks, so it could just be that the control's been used so often that it's kind of lost its luster. Here we have frogs. These aren't like the Prince Froggy frogs. I don't even know if they have a name. They actually look more like Frogger. Speaking of which, I still need to find a way to play Frogger 3D. I need that game. That is... Oh, I want to play that game still. So badly. So let's see. CSS is still working on TTYD. I finished my part of the chapter. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And now Cayman is doing his chapter 2, and he is again obviously he's basically a polar opposite of how I do things. Like I tend to be more informative. I tend to be just informative, and that's my main thing. I try and get things. I also try and be very organized sometimes with how I order things, and Cayman is different in that he's like the opposite of what I do. Not that that's a bad thing; it's actually a good thing. And it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see something you've been doing. Like I've been doing the first chapter. Now he's working on the second chapter, and it's interesting to see how he does it differently than how I do it. It's going to be an interesting project overall. I'm glad we're doing that. So check out CSS if you haven't. Yeah, so let's go do that. Kill this frog. I love frogs. Frogs are awesome creatures, I think. They're kind of cool. So, I also want to mention, since I have a little bit more time, I've finished... I've been mentioning this several times, but I wanted to give confirmation. I finished Pokemon Season 1. I really enjoyed it overall. I really enjoyed watching it again. The Indigo League, in my opinion, was the best part because throughout the whole thing, Ash was like sucked at getting gym badges. He barely did any work. He actually seemed like he had some competence in the Indigo League. I also felt bad that he really did get screwed at the end because Team Rocket screwed him over, and none of the officials seemed to even try and. If I was the officials, I would restart the contest because he got screwed by them, and it wasn't like he did on purpose. Said I'm gonna get screwed by Team Rocket and then be late to the match. But either way, I'm getting carried away, or I'm getting off topic. The episode is good. I'm so into it. I think I'm gonna watch the Orange Island League as well. Maybe Season 2, as in the Silver, Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Johto. But I don't know. I really did enjoy it, and Orange Islands. Ron River was good, but the whole actual battles and stuff, like the whole fact that it wasn't based on actual battling, it was based on other things, was a little annoying. But I'm gonna probably be watching that possibly. So that's Neruon Jungle, or Cayman's Family Reunion. Strange creatures come out at night, and in the jungle, it's always dark. Therefore, they're always out. Neurons lived in this jungle, but they weren't as wild as they appeared. They were actually quite nice and sweet, and said the Neurons were quite tame, and they happily helped the Yoshis escape. Aw, isn't that sweet? So this has been Mega400, reminding you to go buy a Neuron at JCPenney's.